calculate the volume of each solid using the formula V equals B times H. We use BA for base area, and H represents the height. To start, we're going to find the base area of this prism. And the base of this prism is a rectangle, which is a 7 by 8. The height is 12.5, which can be rewritten as 12.5 if you prefer to use a decimal. 7 times 8 is 56. And like I said, you could have either version of those. For the volume, we are going to do the base area times the height. So our volume comes out to 700, and this is measured in centimeters. And since we're talking about volume, it is centimeters cubed. For part C, the base area is made up of multiple parts. It looks kind of like this if you were to look at it from the top. And so we're going to have to figure out the base area for that whole thing. The height of the entire prism is a half, which can be rewritten as 0.5. For the base area, we're going to break it up into two parts. This is a 1.5 by 1.5 square, and this is a 4.5 long across the back. And if we took off 1.5 from the whole side length, the piece that would remain would be 2.5, because if we do 2.5 and 1.5 added together, we will get 4, which is that whole distance. So for each of those pieces, we are going to multiply the side lengths together. So for the first chunk, part 1, it is 4.5 times 2.5, and for part 2, we have 1.5 times 1.5. When you calculate those out, you get 11.25 for the first piece and 2.25 for the second piece. So the entire base area is going to be those two values added together. And that gives us a total base area of 13.5. So for the volume, it's the base area times the prism's height. And half of 13.5 is 6 3/4, also known as 6.75. This was measured in inches, and it's a volume, so we need inches cubed because this item, or the shape, is a 3D shape, so it needs 3 as its exponent. For part E, the base area isn't actually this rectangle, because for prisms, we need the bases to be connected by rectangles. So what we're going to do is we're going to tip this up on its end. So now it's going to look something like this. Like a triangular prism with this triangle on the bottom. So if the triangle is now on the bottom, we are using the base area of a triangle. And the formula we use for a triangle is half times the length and the width, or the base and the height of the triangle. And the height of the whole prism, once we stand it up, is now 6 7/10, which you can rewrite as 6.7, because this is in the tenths place, so we would have a 7/10. 4 times 4 is 16, so we need half of 16, which is 8. For our volume, we are taking our base area and multiplying by our height, which gives us a volume of 53.6 centimeters cubed.